Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to Puzzle Agent 2. Let's continue the mystery. That's what I'm calling it now, a mystery, because it really is. They've thrown in some new thoughts here. And instead of in the first game it just being obviously the hidden people, now we're throwing in some thoughts that maybe the hidden people don't even actually exist. We broke into the sheriff's office last time, and then he caught us and he said we could look in the files. But let's talk to him and see if we have any new dialogue choices.
Did Glory Davner ever tell you she suspected the Brotherhood of being involved in the disappearances?
Glory's a confused young lady. The Brotherhood helps people, whether it's with personal troubles or with what the fancy doctors call an addiction to puzzles.
She told me that
Addiction to
you're
puzzles.
working with the Brotherhood.
Rumors. Unprovable rumors. Just find what you need in those files and then be on your way.
So that's another one of these conversations that's not like the others. You don't have any things you can click on as far as questioning him. You just have a conversation and then it ends.
With all due respect, Sheriff, these files aren't exactly comprehensive. There are no dates.
What's in the files is everything I got, Tethers.
Discover the secret meaning from the by placing the names of Scoggins' missing residents in the order they disappeared, starting from the first to go missing. So can we solve this now? Notes on missing persons. Let's see. Isaac was the last to be kidnapped before Daryl, who was kidnapped last. We know that. So this really isn't about the exact dates. It's just going to be these rules. Haldor and Will were kidnapped before Ted. Ted was not kidnapped fourth. Will was not kidnapped first. So either Haldor or Will were kidnapped first, so it's Haldor, I think. Let's see, Haldor, and then Will, and then Isaac, and then this. I could probably just try different things, but let's actually, I mean, I could probably just throw these things in here, because we have this Barney character who's not even mentioned, so he's the wild card. Isaac was the last to be kidnapped before Daryl, who was kidnapped last. So Daryl and Isaac right there. And then Haldor and Will were kidnapped before Ted. Ted was not kidnapped fourth. So Ted is not this here. So he has to be this. And then Will was not kidnapped first. So it has to be Haldor, Will, Ted, Isaac, Daryl, and then this. This is hilarious. This means nothing. Let's see. Was it backwards? Ritodder Retet Tet do Titio. So unless there's some kind of mix around here, I think I have this right, but that doesn't look like any kind of that doesn't seem like any kind of word. Maybe I have to scramble this. Let's hit submit and see what happens, because I think I'm right, and yet that didn't give any solution at all. It was accepted. So we're just given another mystery on top of solving one mystery. It's like how getting the known relationships of certain people went missing. You were able to piece together the order. But what could teeter door dot mean? Teeter totter at the playground, maybe in the school? Unless it's something else.
Aha! It spells a name? Teeter-daughter.
Did you say teeter-daughter?
Maybe?
That's probably Melkorka teeter-daughter. And she's a strange one. Keeps her herself. Nobody in town really knows her.
Is she one of the missing people?
Missing? Nah, I can't say anyone would miss her. She lives in the old Teeterson house over on the west side of town, near Valda's Inn.
Then I'd better find out what she knows about all these disappearances.
Putting my furniture back in order and fix the lock on your way out, Tethers.
Let's see. Do I really
What
have
do
to
you know
do any
about
of
this
that
woman,
stuff?
Melkorka Teeter-daughter.
Orca? It's like I said, she lives on the west side of town near Valda's. Any more than that, you'll have to find out from her directly.
Didn't mean to click on him. Looking for gum. So apparently I'm just going to exit and not move the furniture back. So it's not the teeter-totter from the school. It's an actual name. And so we can just go to Korka's house, which is here. So any of these 6 houses could have been a location. This house, this house, this house, this house. Any of these houses here could have been a location. Any of these buildings, I suppose, could have been a location too. What a tiny little city. Really nobody here. A lot of train tracks though. It's like a racer factory. Shipments come and go. But so if you make erasers, you would get that, I assume, from rubber trees, which means there would have to be a huge like logging facility going on, unless the logs come in through the trains and then get processed into erasers and then come out. And I suppose it's even possible that there's a logging facility somewhere else to get rubber trees to then make rubber, and then the rubber gets processed to the type of quality of rubber you'd use, and then that raw rubber would be trained in. That's also a possibility. I now want to go watch a how it's made on a how a eraser's made, just to see how complicated that process really is, but I don't have time for that. Let's play this game instead. Tiny town though. Boy, do those little pieces of gum stick out, which is the right way to do it, but it is pretty brightly colored compared to everything else.
At least the eraser factory's up and running again. Scoggins' only exports are erasers and weirdness.
This second story has got me laughing a lot more. I'm starting to feel the comedy that really wasn't there in the first game. Let's go inside.
Assuming Sheriff Bog wasn't sending me on another wild goose chase, I've arrived at the house of the mysterious Melkorka. I'm still not sure how she ties into the disappearances, but she's the only lead I've got. According to the sheriff's description, she sounds like a recluse. Probably the town's resident gossipy spinster.
Interesting.
Good evening, Agent Tethers. I see you found my note. Quickly, come inside before they see us.
I see you're a puzzle fan, Ms. Teeter-daughter?
I dabble. Keeps the brain sharp. And my friends call me Korka. I would hope you're a friend, Agent Tethers.
This is an interesting turn of events.
Can I get you a drink?
Sad
Or
that the
a crossword?
animation is flickering again.
Just the facts, ma'am.
There's something about the engine, I think. They're just... I imagine they're breaking down textures in some fashion. It's causing it to not render fast enough. We got some extra puzzles here. Let's play with these extra puzzles before we talk to her. All kinds of things. So he's kind of found this perfect match.
A puzzle.
What are the next two digits in the sequence? Alright, let's do this. Hopefully this is easier than the next one. Let's see. 41, 31, 41, 59, 26. What's the math here? Let's see. Digits in space is the name of it. That might be a hint too. 31, then plus 10 is 41, and plus another 10 is would be 51. And 51 would need 8 extra added there. So if you add 10 here, if you add 9, there should be a 50. And then it's like 10, 10, 10 plus 9, and then 26. Now, if you turned the 9 upside down and rotated it 180 degrees, it would become a 6. But if you rotated a 5, it still would just be a S at 180 degrees. It would have to be flipped to become a 2. And that doesn't make any sense for the 3, because there's nothing you could really do to a 3 to make it into a 4. Interesting. Like, no guidance whatsoever here. There's nothing. There's so many different reasons why the 5th number could be anything. We've got 100 options here, 0 to 99. It could just be any. Let's see. These two added together are 72. 72 doesn't really mean anything. These two added together are 100. So 157 if you added all the things together. This together gives you 4. So if you added the 3 and the 1, that gives you 4, but then where do you get the 1? And then if you add the 4 and the 1 together, that gives you 5, but where do you get the 9? How many times does 1 go into 4? 4 times. How many times does 1 go into 3? 3 times. If you add this together, you get 4, and then 4 goes into 4 one time. If you add this together, you get a 5, and then 4 goes into 5. Yeah, it just doesn't. Give me a hint. The numbers can't be used to derive the next numbers in the sequence. What do these numbers as a whole refer to? Well, if it's like the clock thing, then 59 seconds and then a minute it would go over. So 30 seconds, another 10 seconds is 40 seconds, another 18 seconds is that, and then if another 27 seconds. 10, 18, 27. Is there a pattern in that? Let's see, 18 plus 9 is 27. So 34? Is that it? Well, the answer is mathematical. The numbers represent a math constant. Imagine a decimal point after the 3. Okay. Oh. Well, see, this isn't going to help me either, though. If it's 3.141592678 9, I believe, is the next section of pi, but that's really hard to memorize. Let's see. Let's do 22 divided by 7 gives you something close to pi, and it's easier than looking up pi on like a phone. So 22 divided by 7, you go into 3, and then you'd be 21, and then you have 10, you go on once, and then it gives you 30, which is 7, 14, 28, which gives you 20, what? No. Should I just hit submit? Let's just see. Let's just see if my memory is correct. Nope. I'm gonna have to look up the answer. The answer is part of a really big number. So let's see. Grab my other phone. No, that battery's dead. So grab my actual phone. I have a broken phone I usually use when I need to take pictures of puzzle games, but it doesn't happen that much. Bring up the calculator app. 22 divided by 7. 3.1428. Yeah, that 22 divided by 7 only works for a certain number of digits. So can I bring up pi? There we go. There it is. There's a pi symbol in my calculator app, thankfully. So it's 3.141592653, and then it would be 5897, and that's as far as my calculator app. Nope, I can actually scroll. I can keep on going and keep on going. Let's see. Apparently I can go, well, at least into the 500th decimal place on my calculator app. I actually spent quite a lot of effort making sure I had a calculator program on my cell phone that actually would go to 4 digits, because a lot of the default ones stop after a while. They'll just give you the wrong numbers or truncate the responses. And so if you were actually trying to do like deep calculations, your calculator might give you the wrong responses. I'm up to about 2,000 places of pi here. It's, I suspect, pre-written, and it's not calculating it out. So that's just a ridiculous puzzle for how detailed it was. the way you would have done this puzzle is simple. You would have put 3 blank blank 15926, and that wouldn't work either. Yeah, I think using pi as a puzzle is just a problem, because most people are only going to memorize pi as 3.14. They're not going to remember the next few digits of 15926, and certainly not going to remember 53. And there's no information in this game whatsoever that's told you what pi is. You don't have a calculator. You don't have possible solutions here. It's ridiculous. That's very just obscure. You've given no details to explain that. No details at all. And I get an F? That's what I give that puzzle, is an F. The puzzle represents the first 8 non-rounded digits of pi. The next 2 are 5, 3. And it's like, that's not a puzzle. That's how far have you memorized pi?
Done. That wasn't so bad.
That was miserable. That was awful. There's nothing in here that would tell you the numbers of pi. Even if, certainly there are circles in this room, but nothing here is going to tell you that. Nothing in the game anywhere is going to tell you that. Let's do this one, see if it's any easier. In the first box is a penny, in the second box a dime, in the third box a penny and a dime. What coin is in the fourth box? Alright, that's probably not too difficult. So 1, 10, 11. And this is the new Sacagawea dollar coin. A penny and a dime. Let's see. If it's 1 and then they add a 0 at the end to make it 10, and then they add a 1 to make it 101. And I can only pick one thing. So it can't be... It wouldn't be $1. But it wouldn't be a quarter. And it wouldn't be a dime. And it wouldn't be a nickel. Yeah, penny's out. A dime is out. A nickel is out. A quarter. I wonder if it's supposed to be the order of the presidents, because if you had Abraham Lincoln and then whoever's on the dime, no, I don't think that's it either. I think you have to go with the dollar one and just hit submit. I did need to miss a puzzle 3 times anyways. So if I mess this up, I'm just going to hit submit a second time. And sadly now it's just like, wait, what? Explain to me what that was. The coin value represents successive binary numbers, alright? So, okay. That makes sense, but not only... It's just like super obscure too. It's like, I know binary. I have taken several years of programming. I know what binary is. I'm very familiar with it. At no point in this puzzle did I get any indication it was binary. I just used a process of elimination. That's a problem with puzzles. Is you have to work really hard to make them accessible and understandable by every single person, or at least most people that are going to see the puzzles. And these past 2 have not been accessible at all. There's been no indication, no hint. It's just like, I know something you don't know. Here's a puzzle you can't possibly solve. That's not fun. That's just somebody being rude. That's knowing secrets. That's not engaging it. That's where, like, the Sudoku puzzles have their greatest strength. Is it is a puzzle that requires no outside knowledge at all. You just have to understand the rules and understand the number symbols you're seeing. And you don't even have to do Sudoku symbols if you really don't want to. You can use numbers. You can use shapes and other things if you also just want that. It doesn't even matter. That's why that is a really well thought out, very repeatable system where these two were bad. Just bad. Let's look at this one thing and then we're going to wrap up.
Is this the latest from Hanji Monosaki?
Rated 4 dragons, they said. Monosaki-sensei's lost his edge.
I thought it was kind of tricky.
It was rather tricky. That was the puzzle we did at the beginning. And it was tricky just because of the same problem as the other two. This is the room of bad puzzles, sadly. But I love how the story is going. We can put that to the side. I love the thought that he's just going to run into his perfect mate here. Perfect match. And she's going to become something. I can imagine if there was more puzzle agent games, you could have these two wandering the world, running into puzzles, just like I would throw them into a whirlwind romance and then have them have like a puzzle adventure at a wedding, at their honeymoon, all just everywhere they go, traveling around the world, seeing new things. Get out of Scoggins, Minnesota, get away from the elf stuff, because you're trying to introduce the character. Nelson Tethers here is the character that's kind of important, and him having some more personality, like he kind of has had, but not too much in this game, would be nice. Let's see what this is.
Board games, and they're all for 2 players only. Marry me. Oh, I mean, you should try the new strategy game, Marry Me. It's fun for the whole family.
So she also might very easily turn into the bad guy. That we'll have to find out. We are not making great progress at 12 puzzles solved. And let's see, missing persons, coins in the box. Which one was the one that was numbers in space? Digits in space? That's way down at the bottom. I don't know why. Where coins in the box is right after missing persons. I thought they were going to do more of a logical chronology of these files, but it seems like not. Let's see. We've done 12. It still seems like there's probably about 18 more puzzles to do. We've cost the taxpayer over $1.3 million. And we are just a passable puzzle solver because we've had to use 12 hints to solve 12 puzzles. I am definitely feeling like I'm a little bit less likely and less interested in just puzzling out some of these puzzles, particularly since they really do some super difficult and obscure ones. Like number 2 set the pace for how I was going to play this game, is this puzzle where it was just pick the number 3 because, and then we've had some easier ones, but then we have like Power Grid, which was confusing, and maybe I messed that one up myself. And then Coins in the Box is a nightmare, and Digits in Space was a nightmare. Not good puzzles. Anywho, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps me out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right is a blue button that says support this channel. click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.